What came after the method of artificial compression?
Then came the projection method, which in fact, if you look at it in detail, is just a limiting case of artificial compressibility. And that was it's an extremely simple idea.
How did it work?
Well, there are lots of papers in which people look at Navier-Stokes equations and say that, and write them in projection form. So all he does is actually implements a solution this way, and that takes care of the major difficulty which people had with time-dependent problems and incompressibility, which is boundary conditions. It's automatically taken into account. So it's not the way I came. It's not the way I came by it. I think I simply I wondered how to reduce the effect of the perturbation in artificial compressibility, and came up with some iteration which removed that effect. And then I realized that, in fact, I had implemented a projection without realizing it.
So what did people do previously? They would take the solution to the Navier-Stokes equation at one time step on a mesh, update it to a later time step, and then they'd have to deal with the fact that they had missed the incompressibility constraint.
No, the way that people did it at the time was overwhelmingly they worked on vorticity stream function variables, which are messier, more difficult, more complicated, and very hard to do in 3 dimensions. So that was the state of the art. There was a paper by Harlow and Welch from Los Alamos who had some idea of using VP variables, the ones I used, but they didn't quite. It was an interesting paper, but didn't quite get the general case, the general construction. The way they did that constrained them to inefficient schemes and problems with boundary conditions. Still, it was a great paper because we had great progress. And I found, I think, a general formulation, which is. I'm still surprised at how much play it still gets because, in fact, it's quite simple.
When you finished it, was it one day you realized, oh boy, or was this a long, slow process when you realized, okay, this is going to work? Or was it one day, of course?
It's of course a slow process. You know, we program, right? So you have a very nice mathematical idea. Between that and something that works, it takes time. It takes patience. It takes many numerical experiments. It gets all the details.
Well, sometimes you can know the idea is right, and then you just kill yourself to get it to work. And sometimes it's a little more entangled.
But what happened here is different. I was making something else work. I was making an artificial compressibility with compensation for the epsilon work, and that worked. And then I realized it took a long time, and then I realized, oh my God, that's a projection. So let me present it that way. So it was this was a disguise of something which already happened, but it took a long time.